I mean, I'm not surprised by how focused our guys were. You know, I'm sitting next to two seniors, two guys who have been 4-year starters. Phil Pierfy is a third, who's been a 4-year starter. Our rotation is 6 seniors. One sophomore who plays a lot, Daquan Davis. He was the player of the year in our conference. And then Will Durr and Steve Pendleton, who round out our rotation, are juniors. So we got veterans. You know, we got guys who, while we've never played in the tournament, they played in a lot of games and a lot of big games. So, you know, our focus and attention to detail throughout the time that we figured out who we're going to play has been tremendous. And, you know, I knew they would be ready for the moment and perform. Now, did I think it would be a 20-point win? Probably not, you know, but I think that's just a testament to these guys, their leadership, and how locked in we were and ready to go.
You said the 20-point win, but for me it was the defense, the way you guys were able to shut down the team and score some points. Can you talk a little bit about, I mean, it seemed like, especially in the first half, not to say you knew everything they were going to do, but it seemed like you were in position, especially in that first half.
Well, defense is what's been our calling card all year long. I mean, we've been the top defensive team in our conference. We're in the top 25 in the country in a few different statistical categories. And, you know, that's what we really pride ourselves on, is getting stops, getting rebounds. Although we gave up too many offensive rebounds for my liking, you know, we definitely were able to disrupt their stuff through our preparation with our scouting. And, you know, our job as coaches is easy to watch tape and figure out action. You know, I think the testament goes to the guys to being dialed in on what we want to take away and how we want to guard stuff. And, you know, they definitely were on top of all that.
And one more just about the second half. I mean, they were able to make a little bit of run. I didn't look it up. I don't think they ever got under 10 points. I think it was always a double-digit lead.
Right.
But then your guys were able to pull it back out. Can you just talk about, again, that sort of determination or whatever it is to not let this game get away?
I think it just goes back to the experience and the veterans and the leadership. You know, I just kept talking about in the timeouts when, you know, they were making their push, composure. Let's be composed, and let's dial back in on the defense. Because to their credit, their pressure, it bothered us, and it gave us, you know, a little bit of trouble. And when we got stops and didn't have to inbound the ball, you know, I thought we were getting whatever we wanted on the offensive end. So, you know, we were able to lock back in and get some stops and not have to inbound the ball. And, you know, the guys did a good job of, you know, spacing them out, making plays for one another. And I think majority of our points in the second half down the stretch were uncontested.
Last question for me. I don't know if you have anything on just getting advanced to the next round. I know you said experience and all that, but it's still the first tournament.
Yep.
I know. I got to imagine this week you talked about let's not make this a one and done type of thing. You talk about getting to that, making that second game here.
Well, I mean, we take it a day at a time. That's been our approach, you know, ever since I've been at Arcadia, focusing on that day and getting better in that day, whether that's practice, you know, a game, whatever it may be. So, you know, while we were hoping to have opportunity to play on Saturday, you know, we were just focusing on the day. And now that we've won, the focus becomes on, you know, who the winner of this next game and what we need to do to, you know, go out and win a game. So, you know, very excited for our guys in our program. They deserve it. You know, they've put a lot of work in over the years. They've sacrificed a lot. And, you know, I definitely think that they deserve this and they're making the most of it.
Josh, I was just going to ask you, I know early on I heard you say on defense, we know what they're going to do. We know what they're going to do. Just keep playing. When you talk about, your coach said that preparation that goes into it. You feel like this week really had you prepared for this game tonight?
All year long, we just try to lock in on defense and practice all week. We just been so locked in on every little detail. So it just came down to us wanting to know where to be every play down the court.
The team was scoring, averaging 78 points a game and held them to 21 in the first half. And the fact that he's it's one thing to do it and say it. It's another thing to do it. Can you just talk about? And it didn't matter who was on the floor. It seemed like you guys, whatever rotation you guys were in, whatever's going on, it just seemed like everybody kind of understood that role. Can you just talk a little bit about just that it wasn't just the starters. Whoever came in still played that sort of aggressive defense.
We always had like a little slogan, next man up. It don't matter what's going on. We're going to have adversity. But, like, I know I'm the head guy, I'm the leader, but I trust anybody on my team. So when I come out the game, I trust that they're going to be able to do what we want them to do. So it's just that next guy mentality.
I'm going to double check here. 26 points. I mean, like, when you had to score, you did. I mean, it's you just talk about your offensive performance tonight, the way you played, and probably the program's biggest game.
To be honest, I didn't even know I had 26. My teammates just really made it a lot easy for Ev was posting hard the whole game, so that just created easy driving lanes for me. Phil and Daquan didn't really have a big scoring game, but their leadership was there the whole game. Like everybody was just so locked in. We didn't care who did it. We just wanted the goal to get accomplished.
Evan, I was going to ask you about that. You drew kind of a tough assignment, who you're having to guard and stuff like that all night. So, but you stood up on that end. But I want you to talk a little bit about just your performance on the offensive end a little bit as well, just because no matter who you went up against was a big guy. You had to push your way around in there and do some things. Just talk about the assignment you were given tonight and how you feel like you performed.
Yeah, I always just try to stay true to myself. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. I'm playing for a long time, so I don't try to do too much. I just kind of go with the flow. What the game comes in.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, sure, please.
He being modest. Evan led our conference in field goal percentage. So him being able to score around the rim on whoever's guarding him, that's nothing new.
It didn't look like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first time seeing you, but it looked like you had, you knew what you were doing down there. It wasn't an issue at all, so I appreciate it. Evan, I want to ask you, Coach mentioned you guys are seniors, and, every game could be that last one. Can you talk about just the excitement of getting to the tournament and then getting this first win for the program and for you guys, your seniors that are here?
Yeah, sure. I'm really happy to be here, but just being happy to be here wasn't enough for us. It's our last try, last year. I know for me personally, I wanted to make it as special a memory as I could. I didn't want it to end first round because it's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. So just wanted to be the best memory it could possibly be. So that's why when you watch us play, you see that heart and desire that we display.
Coach, anything else you want to say about this team, this senior class, anything like that you want to add just to kind of help everybody understand what they've accomplished tonight?
Yeah, they're hungry, they're focused, they're determined. They've had a lot of adversity throughout their 4 years, so it doesn't surprise me the way that we played this year and the way that we continue to play, because they've seen everything, the highs, lows. We got upset on our home court their freshman year in the championship, their sophomore years. We had an awful season, just couldn't live up to expectations and some immaturity. And then, last year just being up and down, a 500 team that won some big games, lost some games we shouldn't have lost. I think that they've just learned from all that. They really took it in, they made the adjustments. They bring it every day, with their practice habits and the way they handle themselves. And I think it's a great role, it's a great example for the younger guys in our program on how seniors are supposed to lead and how seniors are supposed to conduct themselves on a daily basis. So, our season tonight, it's all a testament to our senior leadership and those guys, being an extension of myself on the court and always pushing each other, pushing themselves, and pushing the younger guys.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's disappointing, man. We came back with a veteran group, had a lot of expectations. We had some injuries early. We've been playing the last 12, 13 games without our starting center. We found out on the way here that our backup center basically had a torn patella. So we've had some issues, and we fought for the most part. But we just it's disappointing from a coach's standpoint when you got a veteran group and the execution isn't there. And the execution wasn't there all year defensively. This is a couple years in a row now where our lack of defense has really hurt, especially in crunch time towards the end of the year. You got to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. This is 2 years in a row where we hasn't happened. So disappointing night.
Coach, 3 years in a row, we've gotten to this stage. Happened, to get out of the first weekend. Happened, to get out of the first game.
Yeah.
What is it about this stage, this game, that's tripped us up?
I wish I had the answer, man. It's been kind of the same core group the last 3 years. Like I touched on earlier, it's about playing well at the end of the year. And I think just our discipline offensively and defensively hasn't been there at the end of the year, man. I wish I had the answer. We've had 2 of the 3 years we've had some pretty heartbreaking conference championship losses. Not sure if that hangover has carried over to the tournament. 2 years ago, obviously, we lost to Ramapo on a half-court shot. This year, we lost a tough one at home to a Roan team, and we're up by 4 with 1 minute and 42 seconds to go. So, you know, as a coach, it's hard to get your guys up. It's hard for me to get up for it, to be honest with you. You know, I was a player. You know, I played at a higher level than a lot of these guys. So, you know, the one thing I will say is I have conversations with other coaches about this a lot. I think younger players are not as mentally tough as we were when we were younger. And that's part of it, man. You got to be mentally tough in this game to come into an environment like this, to compete in the NCAA tournament, and you have to show that you deserve to be here. And we didn't do that today.
Guys, I'll open up to any of you if you wanted to. As your coach said, you've been here, so you've had this experience. It's not the one you wanted to have. What do you guys think is maybe that stumbling block for you guys in this game?
I mean, everything that Coach said is completely right. Lack of execution is our biggest thing. It's been like that for the past, I've been here for 4 years, it's been like that for the past 4 years. When we get in big stages, we don't go with our guns and we don't look to execute. We always look to play hero ball, or somebody always says, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. We gotta buckle down at the end and use each other, like, get each other into it.
Were you surprised the way that first half went? I mean, it just seemed like, even when you guys got an open shot, it just seemed like it didn't fall. I mean, it just seemed like nothing really got going for you guys. Did you just get a feel that this wasn't your night, or was it a combination of what they were doing
I
on
mean,
defense?
I feel as if when things like that happen, you have to lock down on the other end, and that's what we lacked to do. Well, that's what we lacked because we went down 18 in the first half. Now, we didn't have that 18-point deficit, and we actually locked down and put the lead down at least 10 or 6, then it's an easier game for us to get back into. But coming back from an 18-point deficit is kind of hard when at first you're already not hitting shots. Now you're starting to get in rhythm, but if we're not locking down, then there's no point of us scoring these points if the other team's going to score too.
Sam, either one of you guys have anything you want to add to that too?
Well, we just didn't do enough. Like Coach M. James said, at the end of the year, we need to be playing well. We wasn't. We lost the last three out of 4, and we kind of go away from what's gotten us this far, and that never helps. The first half was terrible. We couldn't make a shot, and that's like the 3rd game in the last 5 or 6 games that's happened. We've been shooting under 25% in the first half, and when we're not making shots and we're not defending, them games are going to be difficult and hard to win.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think what a lot got to do with the last 3 years coming into this tournament, we came off bad losses, so that might have still been on a couple people's minds. But you know, it's tough to get in this. Like, don't get me wrong, this tournament you should be excited to get up to, but you know, the way we've come into this tournament, it's like we've had bad losses coming into it. So I think that affected us coming into this game.
And I'll open up to all 3 of you as well. I mean, I like to ask you guys kind of a similar question as the coach. And I think we're all seniors.
No, I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay, so it's for the seniors then. I mean, again, it's not the way you want it to end, but when you reflect on the 4 years, what do you think about, you know, as far as being part of this program, being in NCAA tournaments, and all that?
No, this is a real family. Like, I've been through a lot of programs, through AAU and high school basketball. It's like a family. When I came here, it was a perfect fit. It's like a real big family. Like, no matter what, on and off the court. I already know I can call coach for anything. I call any of the coaches on the coaching staff for anything. And just this experience is like it's a really good experience. Even though we came up short each time, it's just the fact that we got there and we got the experience that a lot of teams can't get there and do that. So it feels really good, and I wouldn't trade my last 4 years for anything.
Yeah, last 4 years been great. You know, just wish we could have won a couple more championships, but you know, like he said, it's been a family all 4 years. You know, every time I've come to practice, you know, I look forward to coming to practice and competing with my brothers and you know, playing hard every day. That's really it.
Coach, can you talk about how difficult it is to try to come back when you had such a huge discrepancy, obviously, in the foul shooting? They had 37 foul shots. We only attempted 11.
Yeah. I know this is not the NBA, so I know I can say a few things about officials, but I won't kill them too much. The one short guy was pretty bad, but I mean, hey man, we shot 19% in the first half. It was 7 of 38. We actually got 36 shots to their 20, and we only made 7 of them. Excuse me. So it's very difficult to beat a team that's in the NCAA tournament when you shoot 19% and they shoot 55. I don't care who you're playing. That's poor defensive execution and poor offensive execution. I'm looking at the final stat sheet now for the game. Arcadia shot 59.5%, which is 60%. You're not going to beat many teams giving up 60% field goal percentage for the game. And that's what it boils down to. That's what has happened the past 3-4 years. And my coaches and I have to buckle down and really kind of reevaluate how we recruit. Because one of the things that we hold our hat on is we're a defensive team. We've always have been, even under my father. A couple of years ago, we were nationally ranked, and we've gotten away from that. And this is really a problem. If you look at all our important games, all our big games in the last 3 years, too many teams are just doing what they want to do against us. And that's not who we are as a program. We got to see what we can do about that. But, for my seniors, I'm happy because I push my guys hard, man. I'm not an easy coach to play for. I know that. But I'm 49 now. I'm not going to change. So I push my guys pretty hard, and for the most part, they respond, and they know how I really feel about them. And that's what it comes down to. So, we're disappointed, though. We got a long ride to think about this one, and we'll bounce back, though.
What can you say about this senior group, some of whom are here now, some of whom not, be able to win 81 games
Yeah,
over the course
in
of
4
4
years,
three
yeah.
NCAA championships,
Yeah.
and an ECAC championship?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good resume.
It's a big accomplishment. I have the program right now where I wanted it. It was hard following who I consider as a legend. My father won 483 games in 25 years. Not an easy thing for my first head coaching job to follow him, and had a couple rough years those first couple years. But now I think we're a nationally recognized program, and I want to continue to keep it that way.